It's the Ginge Show.
All right, so welcome to the Ginge Show podcast. One of my favorite people in the entire world, my brother Jay Fotsch.
Dude, right back at you. Thank you for having me, man. This is I really feel like I'm in college right now.
I think that's a good thing, right?
Oh yeah, I mean like the lava lamp and
the lava lamp's vibey, right?
It is. I wish you had a record machine in here.
You know, like records honestly have gotten so popular again that it kind of, I don't know, it nearly has ruined it for me.
Yeah.
It nearly makes me want to collect cassettes.
I mean, I have those
weirder.
too, yeah. Some people collect records just to collect them and then they don't really listen to them. And I'm like, I want to listen to the whole album.
The fundamental
I guess
thing
I'm a nerd.
that kind of I can never get past with records is that everybody's record player now is digital. So you are essentially sending a record into a digital reproduction.
Right.
And then putting it out like through Bluetooth to a digital speaker. That literally breaks my brain to think that that's how it's working.
I think we've gotten too nerdy too soon.
I knew that was going to be the case though with you and I. To say we could get off track talking is the understatement of a lifetime. So I'm going to try my best to keep us on some kind of a topic. You have left radio recently.
Yes.
We're gonna come to that later because that is the later part of the story. So let's rewind. These are actually questions I don't know the answer to.
Okay.
When and why did you get into radio? I really have no clue about this.
Okay. So I had all these like influences, and so I just loved music, and then I loved entertaining.
Yep.
So I think that all just kind of went together, and then after high school, I'm like, dude, I think I want to do radio, and then I got my first intern job, like my freshman year, in a radio station in St. Louis. I was intern Jamiroquai.
That was your name?
Mm-hmm. You know that?
How did I not know these stories?
The first celebrity I ever met at 18 years old, right out of high school, was Richard Simmons.
Really?
He was in town for something. I don't know. I can't remember what he was in town in St. Louis for, but I had to get him, and he was Richard Simmons. I mean, he was...
We're talking like the small guy that...
Yeah, curly hair.
Okay.
Very greasy.
Uh-huh.
He was like this tall, and I'm like 6'3".
My first day in radio, I met a very small man too, and that was Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah,
first day in radio, he showed up at the radio station.
Really?
He was opening for Taylor Swift, and he just showed up and he complimented my shoes. I loved that because he's really big into sneakers.
Yes,
and I was super into that. And he played his song A-Team just in this tiny room to about 10, 15 people, and he was incredible.
Yeah.
And then he ended up playing for Taylor Swift, opening for her in Tulsa. Yeah. And that was the night that I realized that Taylor Swift was on a different planet. I had no clue she was the level of popular she was, but they paid me for 2 hours to just drive the 106.9 K-Hits van around the BOK Center. That was 2 hours of work just driving it, just as free promotion. And people were just so absurdly excited about Taylor Swift, and I did not know that at that point in time she had already won like a best album at the Grammys. I mean, I knew who she was.
Or when this was right after
I believe
pop,
like
I guess if it was Ed Sheeran.
I knew you were Joe when you met me.
Yeah, so that was
like
right
that
after,
era,
like the second album.
Yeah,
that she
right when she turned pop. Yeah. I was mind blown at how big she was. Yeah. But then Ed Sheeran also opened at the BOK Center, him and a guitar.
Yeah.
Nothing else. That's incredible.
Amazing. He's great.
So I met. So my first day I met Ed Sheeran. Your first day you met Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
so
both short guys.
I probably won in that battle. But anyways, back to
I think so.
Back to that. Richard
Simmons. Very
interesting.
I had to get the door and bring him into the studio, and he picked me up.
Why?
I don't know. He's exactly, R.I.P. Richard Simmons, but he's exactly, as advertised. Like, and he had the getup, the sparkly and the tank top, very, and he picked me up and he came in and we got on air and he was just like, I love the intern. I love the intern. Yay, yay, yay. And I was like, all right, man, this is cool. That was the first time.
So when did you come to Springfield?
98. So I
What?
So I did my first year in St. Louis, and I did all the stuff with the radio, and was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move away. I think I need to move away, and which was great, just because I lived in St. Louis my whole life, and it was kind of going out of the side of my comfort zone. And so my sophomore year, I transferred to SMS, now Missouri State.
Okay.
And then, did
you study this in school?
Yeah.
Okay. Broadcasting or?
Yeah, I think it was technically media production with a minor of advertising.
Okay.
But I think that's technically what the degree was that I have. But yeah, and I mean, I just continued DJing the clubs.
If you were trying to pick up a girl, would you say it on a microphone? Would you start the process? No?
No, probably not.
If somebody was being a jerk, would you call them out on the mic?
100%.
I knew it. I knew it. Somebody has to be that person.
Yeah. That was kind of the thrill of radio and DJing, is that you want to kind of have the balls to say what everybody else is thinking, and the obvious elephant in the room that everybody's thinking, but nobody really has the balls to say it. So you want to do it, and you want to walk that line of not getting punched in the face.
Yep.
But also having that, everybody's thinking it. What happens if you hear this voice say it out loud, and then we're all on the same page?
Yep.
And then there's this connection. And the emotion of connection and energy that we talk about all the time with live events and just people in general, even if you're an introvert, you still have to have that energy that people give off. And that's kind of the fun part about it.
I talked to this, Chelsea and I talked about this, and I've said this so many times to people, I've said it to you. The thing that I learned from you, the most specific, is when I first met you and we would be at remotes or public things, you would say things regularly that I was like, did he just say that?
Yeah.
And people loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. They ate it up. And
Sometimes
what I learned,
they did.
No, maybe. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
but what I learned over time was that what people wanted when they came and hang out with us, they wanted to experience
something,
the vibe.
Something.
And so exactly what a lot of people wanted was for you to just have the balls to say it. That's you. That's your character. And it is just you in life. And people loved it. It's a weird compliment, but you are a genius at walking that line.
And jackassery.
I've never met anybody that can do it as well as you. And I mean that as a compliment, to say you're a master of jackassery, but you are, man.
Yeah.
And it worked very well in radio. In my opinion, you are the most famous person in the 417. The question I got most commonly when I started working here was, are you friends with Fotsch? That is true.
Listen, I just want to talk to you about my old school lunch hour. I don't care about that dude. He's a pain in the ass. I don't want to.
You are a master at walking that line. So congratulations. It's a
thanks.
very weird compliment. But everybody that's watching this that knows you knows that is a fact.
No, I get it.
Why have you never gotten an iPhone? Why did you stick with? Let me guess. Okay, let's back this up. Here's what I'm gonna guess why you never got an iPhone. Because at a certain point when smartphones were getting popular, you didn't want to spend the money on an iPhone, and then you got used to the Android version, and then as time went on and you bought better versions, you already knew the Android version. Let's see.
Nah.
No, it's not right.
No, I mean kind of. There's two parts to this.
Okay.
And it's very easy. One, that they were too trendy, and I don't like trendy.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like following the group. I don't like doing this, because at the end of a trend, you're left to be this person who went down a trend train, and then you're just like, oh, why? Why do I have this now? What's going on?
So the iPhone was too trendy.
It was way too trendy, and I've had some really bad experience with Apple.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
What?
The first one was when I was interning at the radio station in St. Louis. The producer had a Mac, and I just didn't know how to work it, and it frustrated the hell out of me.
Okay.
And I hated it. And I'm like, I'm never going to use a Mac. So I used to use all PCs after that. And then I'm like, you know what? I started, the people were like you. They're like, you need to try Apple. You need to try it. It's great. And I'm like, okay. And then I got my first iPod. And it was like, it was crazy. It was like a 1 gigger.
What?
Maybe 2 gigger. Maybe it was even more than that.
A 1 gigger?
I don't know. Maybe it was like a 120 gigger.
Probably
I don't know.
Probably a little bigger.
Maybe it was 120
Like
gigger.
this video, each of these are going to be about 70 gig.
Okay.
Just this one file.
All right. So maybe it was a
probably
120
little.
gigger.
Okay.
And I started taking all my CDs and I had so many CDs, dude. So many CDs. And I put them all on this Apple program. And I put them on this stupid little Apple thing. And the whole damn thing crashed. I mean, I spent months and months and months putting my albums digitally, manually, and it crashed. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I will never do you again. And I'm like, I've had 2 really bad experiences with Apple. And then fast forward, like these are like,
Oh my God.
like 97, like 2008.
Okay.
So I like took some time off to even try it again.
To try to give some forgiveness.
You know what I mean? Like it's almost like,
Sure.
gosh, man, I never really liked apples, but maybe I'll like them now. You know,
Right.
and you try them every 5 years to see if you like them. And then, of course, the St. Louis Cardinals, they're doing this weird thing where they're on different platforms sometimes. They're on Prime Video sometimes. They're on, I don't even know what it is, Bally, Fox Sports Midwest, who knows? FanDuel, I don't know. And then they'll do like a YouTube, and then, you know what they do? They put it on Apple TV, Apple Plus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Apple
then
TV's not really the same as a Mac.
It is. No, it is because it's got the Apple symbol. And I'm like, all right. And you know what I mean? It's been since 2008 since I've gotten burned by these damn people. So I went like a couple years ago. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to download. And it was like free trial to watch the Cardinals on a Friday night game. And you know what those son of a bitches did? They charged me. And they said that they were going to give me a free trial. And they didn't.
Wow.
So that's 3 bad burns by Apple, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right there alone, dude, those 3 times, Apple, I will never, ever, like fast forward a decade, 2 decades from now, I don't care. I don't care if Apple owns the AI game in 20 years. I am not going Apple, dude.
Okay.
I will use a jitterbug. I'll use a bag phone. I'll go back to pagers.
Motorola.
Dude, screw Apple.
Wow. There's so much to unpack there. The fact that one of the big ones was you taking like a physical media, a CD, and putting it on there, that feels so real. On your
These are all real. I'm not making it up. Wow. That's the reason why I don't like it. Right. I think that's a good enough reason.
Well, it is, and you have several. I can
reasons.
live with that. And in the early O's, late 90s, Mac was very different than PC. I mean, they were a really different. They've gotten fairly similar where the same programs work on most of them, but there was a time where you were one side or the other big time.
Yeah.
And I switched to Apple in 2004, and I never went back. I've been on that side of the line always. So, anyways,
best of luck to you.
That was I was not expecting that much passion. All right. I've been warned. Okay. Safety first. I mean, I'm using 2 Apple products to record this right now. So
it's right. It's lucky that you're even going to be able to post it. It's just going to go away. I hope you have it backed up on your CD or some kind of VHS, dude, because Apple is going to let you down again. It's let me down so many times.
This was so much more than I expected. The passion. Oh, man. All right. Well, I was not expecting you to have such an extreme answer right there. Tell me about you've called them horse shows?
Horse, like the animal.
Right, sure. But
I always have to say that like 2 or 3 times.
Mean?
So there's it's called foxtrotting.
Okay.
And it is these show horses, and believe it or not, there's a small town called Ava, Missouri, just outside of Springfield, where my wife is from, and all my in-laws live, and they have one of the biggest like foxtrotting like regional arenas in the country. Like all these horses from Wyoming, California, Texas, Illinois, Arkansas, like you name it, they all come to this place and they're like show horses. And they walk and they trot and they canter. And it's so random. And it's like whenever I tell people this, they get the same reaction that you're like, wait, okay, explain that to me again. I don't understand. Because I don't know anything about horses.
Right.
And I never have.
I don't either.
And the only connection that I have to this is that like our daughter is like, my stepdaughter is doing some, riding some of the horses and getting into it. And like my father-in-law like has showed them. And then, our cousins are also involved. So it's like, okay, well, this is like a family thing. Like I kind of want to get involved. And then it was like, I got the opportunity to announce like in the ring. And
Are they being
like an MC.
judged?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what.
Oh, yeah.
They're trotting, and the judge is being like,
and it's
that
not a
is
race.
a trot.
It's
right
not a
there.
race. It's not like Kentucky Derby.
No.
Like it's not a horse race, but they're actually they're show horses basically.
So they're judged on how well they're trotting.
Well, for everything, their appearance, how they look, how their style is, how the rider is handling the horse, how they are in sync with the horse.
So what do you say? What? Give me a little like what would you be saying?
Yeah, we got a flat foot walk, and reverse, and continue at a flat foot walk. We have entry number 173.
So you're not giving your opinion.
No.
Okay. You're not saying like,
no.
Woo-wee, that is a good looking.
I mean, I'll get the crowd amped as much as I can and, kind of throw my little jokes in when I'm talking about, so like when we're at a standstill, but like during the actual arena when they're out there, I'm just kind of announcing and
you're
giving it
not
out.
like,
which is so weird. Like
prancing.
a lot of my friends like in St. Louis will be like, dude, that's so weird.
That is so
but it's
random.
so fun.
No,
it's so, and I think
I've
that
done
like
so many random things throughout the year that actually turn out to be really fun. Yeah.
So it's just like, it's so, and it's so fun. Like, and you would never think, like, I would have never thought that I was doing that.
If you want to support the Ginge Show, please like and subscribe. It is independently financed, aka I am financing it myself. So a like and subscribe really helps me out a lot, and it is free. If you are looking for a DJ for your wedding, private party, corporate event, the club, whatever, I'm your guy. Hit me up at thegingeshow.com or at The Ginge Show on all social media. All right, back to the episode. Please like and subscribe. So you started working before it was Power 96.5. What was it called? Jams?
So it was Power 96.5 Jams.
Okay.
And the tagline was move to it, Power 96.5 Jams.
Oh,
so the format flipped from a country station in 2001 to this rhythmic, almost, the genres changed throughout the years so much, so I'll just refer to it as it was in 01. And it was like a rhythmic top 40, but almost rhythmic urban for a while.
Like Eminem?
Even before Eminem, you're talking like, I think Ludacris just dropped. You're talking Jay-Z.
Eminem's 96 or 7.
Yeah, but in a weird way, like technically my name was released on alternative radio.
Really?
So I don't know when it made that. Maybe shortly after.
Fascinating.
It may be shortly after it did, but like that was
interesting.
But it did. Don't get me wrong. Then when he released the album, like the album Without Me, and what was it? The Eminem Show. That was like late 01, early 02 ish. Like definitely. That was our era for sure. But you're talking 50 Cent. You're talking about Dre's album from 2001.
Dre 2001.
You had a lot of that.
That's one of my favorites ever.
Eve, Gwen Stefani.
My first Eminem album I ever got, somebody gave me the Walmart version of it for a birthday.
Oh man!
And so it was all edited.
The radio edit.
How many? And the Walmart version, they're not like they're gone. So it was just like it was not a good edited album.
Oh, man.
Because there's a lot of cuss words in that one.
There sure is.
There's a lot.
Yes,
there
is.
All right, so we've got In the O's, Jams, and when did it switch to Power 96.5?
Late 02, maybe even 03 is when they really started exploring. I want to say maybe 02 even, where they started like, and I know we were so against it, when they started adding like pop rock songs like your Nickelbacks.
Uh-huh.
And then like I remember the first one that we added that was kind of, and I mean, it's weird to even think about this one, but Avril Lavigne Complicated.
Oh, that's such a jam.
But it was like at the time we were like, oh man, is this too rock? Like, and it was like, that was kind of like the first one that kind of, and I know that's even weird to say, but like we were just in an era of just all rhythmic dance, like Daft Punk, One More Time.
Wow.
Like all of these songs, Ja Rule was obviously huge. Then you had Ashanti and Nelly that were all in there at the same time. So you had all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden you hear like John Mayer. And you're like, does this really fit? And then you'll hear Nickelback. Like
in the early O's, John Mayer was my favorite artist of all time.
No, for sure.
He was like, I like followed him around watching his concert, but it is weird how like No Such Thing was a big hit at the same time as like, you know, Gwen Stefani and Eve, that song you're talking about. This was right when rhythmic started to become pop. Because when I was in high school, I was listening to Tupac and Dr. Dre. And in Seminole, Oklahoma, in the late 90s, that was uncool. Listening to like hard rock was cool. People actually mocked me for listening to rap music. And then 5 years later, in the early O's, that became essentially pop music. And it was super
It was
cool.
top 40.
Nelly was the first one for me that really crossed that line where everybody was listening to Nelly. That like became rap was everywhere then. What was the hardest about doing a morning show for 20 years?
Not getting up.
So that never gets easier?
No, I mean, you just have to like mentally put yourself in like a happy spot. I mean, it's like going on stage, man. Like if you're doing a play or you're doing a show, like you're getting ready to sing, like to really get yourself mentally ready, like in the zone. Like I always looked at it like morning show and radio as like a sport. Like since I always played sports growing up, like baseball and volleyball and track and soccer and like I like had to get in the zone and like stay in that zone.
Did you find it hard to go to bed at night? Or has that always been because for me, I have such trouble sleeping because at night my brain wakes up creatively and I nearly just want the party to continue, and so I have to force myself to go to bed. Was it that way for you, or is
maybe
that
not
part
later
easy?
on?
Okay.
The older I got,
it became easier. But so you just never get used to that. You just never get used to it.
I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, do you just wake up at 4 on Saturday?
Chelsea's,
like, no,
she kind of likes it. She kind of likes actually getting up that early. I cannot relate to that. Okay, so that was hard for you forever.
Yeah.
What time are you starting work right now?
Around 7:30 or 8.
Does that feel like you're just sleeping in?
Oh gosh.
That sounds so early to me still.
It's so amazing.
Even
it's like
when
so sleeping in. It's so crazy.
When I would even be on the morning show on Fotsch and Friends, I would come in at like 8. I mean, and that was early.
I know, we'd always try to give you the late slot.
I know. In the later years, we were just recording it in the day and playing it.
Yeah.
The beauty of radio, you didn't know that, but there was a point where I could not get up that early. I wish I had that skill, but I truly cannot fathom doing that. All right, ready for the next one? Why do we like true crime? Because you like it a lot, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know the answer to this.
Okay, I'm very curious.
Psychology. We are both big psychology buffs. We like how the mind works. We like how it reacts. Obviously, I'm not saying that we like the killing. And I think that that's where they're like, man, what's wrong with me? I like the killing. It's more so, how does it affect everyone around them? Yeah. It's like this traumatic event, or like how do they repair their lives afterwards? Like, what do they do? What does the healing process look like? What was that like for them? And it's almost like an empathy thing where you're like, oh my gosh, like, could you imagine? And it's not like you're feeling sorry, or like it gets to be where I think we do question it because we're like, gosh, are we that sick where we just want to watch like murder before we go to bed?
Literally, because I will watch it right before bed. I watched something about the BTK last night.
But I don't know. I guess I shouldn't speak for you, but we've talked about psychology a lot, me and you, and it's just fascinating to me. And then how do you do that? Like, how do you deal with something like that? And like how it affects so many different things.
The weirdest part about the BTK
is the daughter. Yeah. The daughter.
Yeah, that just came out on Netflix. But what I really noticed from it is he is so absurdly famous now, and he just gets off on that so much, knowing how famous he is. It was communicating with the newspaper, and here we are watching documentaries about it, and I bet he's so proud of himself.
Yeah.
But it is so fascinating. It's awful, but I don't know. I find that so interesting how much we all like that. But I mean, I love true crime. I was curious what you'd say. I mean, I completely agree
Ed
with
Gein,
that.
Man, we finished.
Did
Ed
you
Gein.
like that, by the way?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was only okay.
No, it was good. It was good. I love Ryan Murphy, but like
but the other two were
Menendez
better.
brothers and Dahmer were just
incredible.
Level.
Ed Gein was like, first of all, it was a little too, because I looked into it a lot of what was true and what was, and
we always do that. If anything is based on like actors and actresses, we're like, okay, is this glorified for the story or like? So we were all in that, but that, I mean, it's still fascinating.
It's super fascinating, but so much of that was not true. That was either a theory or so. No spoilers right there.
Yeah.
When Chelsea was on, she gave such a spoiler about the show Summer I Turned Pretty, I had to cut the whole bit out of it. She was telling me,
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's a show that everybody's loving right now, but it was a book she read. And when she got done explaining it to me, I was like, Chelsea, that seems like a spoiler.
Yeah.
And so I went back.
Let me ask you this, Chelsea and Ginge. Is the show that good enough to where it has nipples on chairs? Or lampshades?
No, Summer I Turned Pretty doesn't have any
I don't think so.
nipply lampshades.
I don't think so, but Ed Gein does.
That is true.
Okay?
If
Sorry
you're looking
about the
for
spoiler.
That, nipply. If you're looking for some nipply lampshades, that's the place to get it.
So true.
And there's not a lot of places you can find
I
that.
could be sitting on a nipple right now. I don't know what kind of chair this is.
Yeah, these are corduroy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I built. It was great when you complimented these because I actually had to put these together.
They're awesome.
Amongst the things that I had to do for this podcast, which this was so much harder than I expected.
Yeah.
You did actually have
He had
Fotsch
to
and
collect
friends.
dolls. That's what he had
That
to
was
do.
the easy part, was the doll collection. And man, Chelsea was on me about the dolls too. And she was really, and I've actually gotten to where I'll just call them that. I'll just call them dolls. You really beat me down on that.
Yeah.
And did you notice I'm wearing Yeezys?
Yeah.
I wore those because, I haven't bought a pair of these in a long time because Kanye West ruined these for me. These used to be really valuable, and then he came out and said the Nazis were right and stuff. Kanye has officially Kanye'd himself out of a good spot. We all forget about things like that, but man, he has ruined my shoes. Do you still ever use my Paramount Plus?
No.
Because I saw your name on there the other night, and I was like, oh my gosh, he might actually still use that, which would be fine. That would be fine with me.
So this is funny because our friend Kate also, there was an era where I started getting into platforms finally.
Right.
Like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, like where I was like, okay, man, I'm canceling cable. Like I'm going to do this. And you guys were like nice enough to like, when
give
sharing was a thing.
Yeah, they don't really let you do it as much anymore.
It's not like they're cracking down. So no, I don't. But I really appreciate you loaning that out to me.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was I saw Fotsch on there and I was like, that's right. He used that for a while. They've kind of figured out.
You can delete me now.
All right. They've kind of figured out how to stop that now. If you're not in the same Wi-Fi network, a lot of times they'll just straight kick you out. All right. So AI clearly has taken over so many things, that like special effects in movies. There's a lot of people in Hollywood that press to allow people to do special effects because AI can do it so well that it's even hard to tell the difference. Of everything that AI can do, and I mean, it's scary, what do you think it could never do? Let me give you my best thought.
Okay.
I think that comedy is something that I don't think it can ever fully do that. That's one thing I think. Do you have any thoughts other than that?
I mean, that's kind of where my brain went to. I mean, I think I've seen some AI, like I've seen like what it produces, and some of it's very funny, but I mean, I guess like we also use, I don't know, man, I'm such a comedy nerd because I love such old comedians and I love old movies like with comedy. And there's so many different eras of comedy and there's so many different genres of comedy. So I do agree with you because I don't think you can duplicate people's delivery.
Right.
Like like Mitch Hedberg. How in the world do you AI Mitch Hedberg?
Yeah, and
like
where
that
would
guy,
yeah.
Stephen Wright. Like where do you come up with that on AI? Like there's just so many people that stick out to me and maybe not be superstar comedians, but it's just like George Carlin. I don't know how you replicate that. I don't know how you replicate Richard Pryor.
I also think that doing this podcast, I feel that this would be very hard to recreate with AI. How could it ever do this?
And listen, I'll go back to what we've already talked about, and me and you have talked about a lot, and that is human energy.
Yep.
Like it is a medicine that you need. That energy and emotion is that it can never create that.
Yep.
And then I think that's the medicine that we all need.
Yep.
I really do. Not too much of it because we do live in a world where you don't need as much as you used to. I agree with that, but you do need it.
Okay, what annoys you the most? I don't know why I've been asking this question, but I'm just really curious what people's pet peeves are. Like, what's your biggest pet peeve or what really annoys you?
Oh, man. Yellow cars.
Are you being serious?
Yep. Out of all of the colors.
I had to quickly think what mine was. It's white.
Out of all of the colors that you can get when you spend that much money on a vehicle, you pick the yellow one.
Wow.
How dare you?
I respect how random that is. That is not what I was expecting you to say.
And they're really weird people.
Really?
Have you ever met a normal person who drives a yellow car?
I don't know if I'm really trying to
I have some friends
assess.
that drive yellow cars.
And
as
they're
a matter
weird?
of fact, they're weird. Wow. I mean, I'm weird too.
Sure.
In my own ways.
Sure.
But they're at a different level. Like how sick do you have to be?
Yeah.
To choose that color out of all the other ones.
Wow.
There's clearly a problem.
Yeah, there is. I don't even know. I don't know if this is directed at somebody, but I have.
It isn't.
Like, that is so random. I really respect that about you a lot. What is the most overplayed song? Or another way to look at it, what is the song that just got played in radio till you just despised it? What are some that really stick out to you?
I mean, I've got stories.
Okay, hit me.
So I love the song Gold Digger by Kanye West.
Sure.
It's a great song.
Great.
But there was a time when I was music director on Power 96.5 and the record label called me and said, you guys have like double the spins for Kanye Gold Digger. Like, is there any way that you can give us some of the spins on Rihanna instead of Kanye? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I've been trying to talk to our PD, and it was a different PD at the time. And I'm just like, it's not budging, man. Like, we played that song so many times. So many times. Like, I mean, that's the first one where you get a record rep where they're like, dude, you guys have spun this song
too many times.
Like, yes, like the most out of any radio station in the United States. I'm like, oh boy. Like, that's not what you want to hear, right?
I can't even imagine that.
So the other one that comes to mind, and I've told this story before, is Laffy Taffy by D4L. We played it so much, and in the era, I always have to preface this, of people calling in and requesting songs. I know that that's been long
that hasn't
gone.
Existed for a long time.
Like, kind of anywhere, like even if it's a bar or club or whatever. But like in that era, when that was where, you know, where you had to buy a CD, like you had to purchase it, we would get requests while we were playing the song for that song.
Wow. Laffy Taffy?
So, yes. So I was doing afternoons at that time, and we would literally just bank up like 13 phone calls of them requesting Laffy Taffy. And we would just play Laffy Taffy into Laffy Taffy.
Wow. That I've never heard of.
You never heard that story?
No, I mean, I remember you talking about how popular the song is, but I didn't know you were like playing it into itself.
I would do that sometimes. When I would get so many requests, and I'd be like, it's playing right now. Like, I mean, you want to talk about psychology. It's just like, well, I heard the end of it, so I want to hear it again.
Wow.
And it's, I mean, kind of the same era of in the clubs when you would play like, oh, I just played Country Grammar by Nelly. Well, I wasn't here. I just got here. Will you play it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, will you give me a little bit?
I
Like, I'll play it
despise
again.
requests, for the record, because as a DJ, people request what they want to hear, and maybe their
It's
little
usually how a
group.
request goes.
And well, okay.
I mean, you pretty much
Fair-
defined the word request.
Okay, fair enough. That is fair. But I'm always
Ginge the glossary, who gives the definition of request.
I'm always explaining to people, though, that I am trying to play songs for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
so
hard to
people
explain that to
want to
people.
hear
Yeah.
their little group's
Yeah.
favorite song. And so I've just gotten over the years where I'll give out a good maybe. That's just standard. A yes, I will give out if I know, but for the most part, it's a maybe, because you just can't kill an entire dance floor to
Yeah.
play some random song that I've never even heard, that I can't even validate if it's
Yeah.
going to work as a dance song.
Yeah.
But killer genre, I mean, being a DJ, there's certain songs that are just 100% hit ones. Nelly is like a go-to. You know, DJing, the number one song ever for me that hits every single time is Flow Rida Low. And I would say that energy, probably for 2 or 3 songs from that, it's going to be, listen to this track. Girl, the way you're moving got me in a trance. No Hands. Those 2 songs work 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. These are songs that just, but Flow Rida Low, as a DJ, number one trick up your sleeve that works every time.
Yeah.
Usher, yeah, those are the main. Those are the main ones that those work every single time.
Yeah.
All right, we're basically finished. What do you think? So let's talk about the fact of when I was on Power 96.5. So when we kind of like split ways professionally, this would have been, I don't know, 3 years ago or so. Power 96.5 did this really big study, this expensive stuff. We got bought by a big company about 3 years ago, and it kind of changed things on Power 96.5, KTTS, KSGF, and 106.7. That was the cluster of stations that we worked on. So in that time, they did a big study on Power 96.5, and we actually did amazing. I was the most proud I had ever been as the PD. I walked out of that study results and I was like, we did it. This is so amazing. And I got told about 30 minutes later that we had done so well that they were going to take Fotsch and Friends off of Power 96.5 and move it to KTTS, the country station. I was not very excited about that. It brought tears to my eyes. I'm going to be straight up with you. So that happened. That was about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, somewhere around there.
Probably a little over 2 years ago.
Okay, so that was what happened. Then I ended up essentially by myself on Power 96.5, me and Katie from Russia, and that
Who's
was
living
it.
in Dallas, by the way.
Yeah, she doesn't live here anymore.
Yeah.
Hi,
Katie.
Yeah, hopefully she is watching this. Hi, Katie.
doing
She
social
got me
media.
this right here, the Ginge Funko.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
In good old Dallas.
So you guys moved over to KTTS. What was that like? Let's just say, first of all,
Yeah.
what was that like at the beginning?
I mean, it's like, honestly, that's a legit question because, I mean, I got asked, I still get asked that a lot. Like, well, how was that? Like, what was that like? And I mean, the quick answer is that's business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's business on any level.
Yep. I mean, what do you think it was as far as things degraded? Because you ended up leaving. I actually got let go. You ended up leaving. Mm-hmm. What led to this downhill to where you were ready to leave radio?
For me, like, I can answer that question for me. And that is, I just didn't want to be the old guy that was like, remember when radio was like this? Mm-hmm. And I think that was like kind of where it was starting to feel like for me, to where it was like, okay, it's not like it used to be and I either evolve or I don't. But the problem was the road where it was evolving didn't have me on that road.
Yeah.
I don't think it was me. I just think it was just people in general. So it was just kind of like, I think it's time. Like, it doesn't seem like this is the industry where I can give my skills to anymore, because I don't know if they're wanted. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if that's everywhere. I don't know if, like, everybody wants me to have like some kind of answer of like, where's radio at, and where. It's just my experience. Is that like that everywhere? Probably not. I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of anyone else except me. I can just say that I really love people, and I just wanted to give those skills out because I was confident in those skills, and I really wanted to utilize my gifts to someone or something else. And I think it was just time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's also like kind of a cop-out answer, but I think it was just like 25 years. I still have the second half of my career, and I don't know about you, but like there are all these people who are like, oh man, you were my childhood. Like it almost feels like an afterthought where it's like, okay, I think it's time. Like, it's just like, maybe like what I did is not, and it's also maybe it is. Maybe I'm just the old guy that needed to go.
And on my end, I was feeling pretty over it at the end, but because, like you had said, I just didn't really feel like I was utilizing my skills. And when it came to the end, it was like, okay, this is a good moment to move on. We're basically finished. What do you think you're going to miss about doing radio in this next part of your life? What would you say is what are you going to really miss the most? Getting up early?
I would say this, but we're doing it.
Yep.
We're doing the podcast.
That's
you know
exactly
what I mean? Like,
how I feel.
And like, it's like, I guess like a consistency, like of every day doing it and like talking about what's going on is really fun. But like I said, that we're in a different time and we're in a different era, and there's so many different ways to do that.
Yep. That
I think that there's just so many possibilities that it's just like, it's kind of a neat time.
You just
honestly
made me think of something, and I'm going to do this. I'm very excited. I love making playlists, and I'm excited to find an outlet, essentially, which I think will happen through all of this, to share those with people. Spotify playlists or something, because I really enjoy making the ebb and the flow of music, which is a radio skill that I could use. This is the talking element of radio that I can use.
Yeah.
Even the aspect of knowing people to bring on the show, that's a radio thing that exists. And then DJing, the reason I got into radio from the beginning, I now get to do as well. So it does feel like in a lot of ways it's just a graduation from that outlet of it, because like you said, we're still getting to do this. It's a little different of a format, but a lot of it's the same.
And the creativity, like not anything like lately, but I just said like kind of what we talked about earlier, like in a different era of radio, like where you could actually, like, if let your creativity breathe and like try things, like that was really fun. But once again, like, it doesn't have to be like,
you've
so
got
many
the horse
different
shows
things.
still.
Duh.
Yeah, I mean, those horses.
I talk to truck drivers every day.
Yeah.
Hello.
I bet that's wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I bet that actually really would be. And we'll see where things go. You will definitely be on this show again.
Yeah.
I mean, I
got X'd back.
Yeah, I got X'd back. I mean, you are one of my best friends of my entire life. So,
likewise, dude. Love you, dude.
Love you too.
Yeah,
I
thanks for
have
having me on.
still not figured out kind of the ending. So let's just wave. Bye.